I suppose today is the time to make another video after that last video, which I sometimes regret that I made, but hey, you can't cry over spilled milk. That's what my mother used to say. So today is July the 14th, 2016, and it's 5:16 in the evening. It is 83 degrees inside my cell. And I'm about to put away my diary for the day. It's kind of late, but when I run out, when I do like these pages, I have a thing I do. What this is that today I helped a friend of mine haul some books to his apartment, and his books are stored out in his brother's place out in the country. His brother is like a handyman, and he has a workshop, and above the workshop is like a studio apartment, and there my friend Tim keeps some of his books, and he wanted to go out there to get some of his books to bring back into town, and he also offered to so I can take some books if I want some books. So I was going to show, and these are the list of the books that he gave me, and I don't want to write them twice in my diary. So when I write them out in my online diaries, I just copy it off and put it in my diary. And I ended on page 600 in my 2016 diary, and so I'll put these away into my July 16th diary. And also today it's back to school sales, and so I stored up on folders for the coming months. Got me 6 years, no, not 6 years. I got me a year's worth of folders. Got me some fresh paper. I go through about 140 pages, 104 sheets of wide rule paper about every month. And I always get myself Opflow Staples pens. I love these pens. I have a whole drawer of them, but every time I go to Staples I have to buy some, and they only had one left. So I told the guy, get some more, and so I don't know. As far as what I'm reading, well, today I didn't get around to reading, but I carried around in my bag Red Earth and Pouring Rain by Vikram Chandra. Now I'll get to the books that my brother Tim let me have out of his library. The first book, as I went through his library, I took this book, and it is Coolidge, Poetry and Prose with Essays by Helzet, Jeffrey, De Quincey, Carlyle, and others. So I got that, poet Coolidge. And then I took this. This is Virgin Soil by Ivan Turgenev. He was a Russian writer. This novel. This is for my dispensational premillennial collection. This is Rightly Dividing the Word of Truth by Dr. C.I. Schofield. This is something I never heard of, but it looked... this is a novel by a British writer called Charles Reade, The Cloister and the Heath. I think I read about him in that book, the novel, a biography, but I gotta check that out tonight. Also, I got this from my kind of religion kind of collection, Heaven and There's Wonders in Hell by Swedenborg. Heaven and Its Wonders in Hell, from Things Heard and Seen by Emmanuel Swedenborg. This is a biography on Catherine the Great by Henry Troat. I have like 4 of his biographies, one on Flaubert. Oh, I have a bunch of his biographies, and I didn't have this one on Catherine the Great. So I got that. And I collect novels by Wallace Tiger, and this is a novel I didn't have in my Wallace Tiger collection, all things, all the things, all the little life things. This is a really old edition of Thomas à Kempis's Imitation of Christ. Imitation of Christ was the first book that I read when I was in high school, when I used to go hitchhiking up and down the West Coast. I used to carry a little paperback edition of The Imitation of Christ. I've shown that in past videos. I found a biography on Herman Melville, His World and Work by Andrew Delbranco. I have another book of his downstairs. This is an Icelandic saga. Can't pronounce it, but Laxagalia, I don't know what it is. It's an Icelandic sagas composed by an unknown author in 1245. Look kind of interesting. This is the Penns of Pennsylvania and England. This is on William Penn, about Pennsylvania, if you know American history, about Quakerism in America. This is the Knickerbockers' History of New York, which was written by Washington Irving. Nice hardback edition. The History of New York This is by the satirist Jonathan Swift, who wrote Gulliver's Travels. This is the Everyman's Library. It was written, this was published. It was written back in the 18th century. Jonathan Swift, The Tale of Tub, The Battle of the Books, and Other Satires. This is in Everyman's Library. It came out, I think, in, back in the 30s. This is Leah Tolstoy's The Kreuzberger Sonata and Other Stories. I was really into Leo Tolstoy when I was in high school. War and Peace, and I like the Russian writers. This is the Letters from the Earth by Mark Twain. This is a book on Europe in the 17th century by David Ogg. I'm really into European history, 17th century. This is a novel by Virginia Woolf, The Voyage Out. This is a history of the House of Habsburg, the fall of the House of Habsburg, that which led to the First World War. Short stories by Alice Munro, Open Secrets. This is a novel by Thomas Mann, Dr. Faustus. A novel by Chuck Palahniuk, a novel. This is a book on the Spanish Inquisition, a historical revision by Henry Kamen. This is a book, I like the writings of William F. Buckley Jr. This is a selection of his essays and commentary, Right Reason. This is a book, I found I had this already in paperback, but this is called Pilgrimage, The Image of Medieval Religion by Jonathan Sumption. And this is a book, Russia and the West under Lenin and Stalin by George E. Kennan. I collect the writings of George E. Kennan. He was a very famous, what do you call him, diplomat? I don't know, but I got that. Russia and the West under the Lenin and Stalin, deals with the Cold War. And I got the Decaprion of Bacalio. This is an illustrated. I have an old paperback. This is a big hardback with big print, and it smells kind of musty. And then I got this really unusual book by H.G. Wells, Julian Huxley. This is like a book on evolution. H.G. Wells, he wrote the War of the Worlds and center of the earth. And this is kind of a strange book. It's called The Science of Life. It's probably all into the Darwinian evolution, which I don't believe. I believe in God created the world in 6 days, and I don't believe in evolution. I don't believe that the earth is billions of years old. I believe in a young earth. So these are the books I got from my brother Tim. He gave them to me. It was really nice of him. So I add these to the piles down in the lower level. I got history. I got some classics. Got some short stories, biographies, all kinds of interesting things. And so that's what I got from my brother Tim. So yeah, so I showed you my pens and my paper. I got supplies for my diary. So that's what's going on here. And so yeah, so I suppose I'll close, and I'm hoping you're having a good week and have a good weekend. And so until next time, bye.